A quick explanation of what I think was going on, because I don't think it has a blown head gasket. I drove it around for a good while. Hasn't gotten hot, but I don't know where the coolant went. The coolant that was missing. So what I'm thinking, the only thing I could think of is the thermostat. The thermostat was inside your car. Well, the thermostat has an O-ring. This is the thermostat housing. This O-ring is located right here. And this O-ring has, if you look at it from the side, a cut down the middle right here. And then what happens is you wrap the O-ring around the metal part of the thermostat. Well, I noticed that when I took the O-ring off to install the thermostat, there was quite a big gap, like maybe that much in the middle. So when you're squishing down that O-ring, it's not going to close all the way because this part of the thermostat's not in it. So what happens is when you start getting pressure and start pushing on the O-ring, it squeezes the O-ring shut, which allows it to come out of the thermostat housing and block and start seeping out real small, minute steam. And steam doesn't leave a residue or anything like that unless there was water in it, and it would leave an orange stain like the way it has been. But there was antifreeze in there, so the only thing you can do is detect it is by a sweet smell whenever you park. But now that I installed the thermostat back into the O-ring, it doesn't have that little hollow gap in the middle. Now it's solid. So when the block and the thermostat housing gets bolted together and squishes that O-ring, it's squishing on a solid piece right here, and it's not letting that gap there anymore. That's the only thing I could think of that could have been happening. To me, I drove it around. It drives real smooth. And, and I just got back. You can see that on the bottom of the car, there's nothing wet. I'll put you down there. There's nothing wet. It's all nice and dry. And the engine compartment, nothing wet. You would see traces of wet here or here. There's nothing wet. Or up here on the radiator itself, I'm looking down all the way down the bottom. I don't see nothing wet. Sorry, I'm trying to let you see what I see. So all down the radiator, there's nothing wet. And then over here's where the other hose was leaking last time, and you don't see nothing wet down there. It's all pretty much dry. Oh, and over here where the heater hoses connect to the heater core, you can see it there. That's all dry. And so it doesn't have a leak. The only other way it could be going out, could be escaping, is if the radiator cap was bad, but you'd see a bubble right here, and it doesn't have one. This sticker is meant to go on top of the thermostat housing, the radiator cap, and if it starts leaking through this rivet right here, there'll be a bubble on this sticker, and there's no bubble. And so that's my theory, and what I was showing you on the board is that's what we were talking about, that plastic housing. Or it could be that the plastic housing is cracked, but it's not leaking. So I don't believe that the plastic housing on it is cracked. So just keep an eye on it. Check it every 2 days to make sure. I'm letting it cool off now so I could check it again before I leave. Before I left, I seen where it was at, and I took it on a good 15-mile drive. And so now I'm letting it cool off so that I can see where the coolant level is. And if it's different from when I left it, we're losing the water somewhere, and we're going to have to do that block test. So, that's all I can do for right now. It's okay to go. You can pick it up. If you do have the overheating problem, bring it back, and we'll have to do the block test. The block seal. The liquid block test. So hopefully you saw the video on how it is that it gets done, and I will let you know in advance, or let me know in advance when you're going to bring it back. If it's still overheating and we still have that problem, then we'll take it from there. Alrighty, that's the end of my video. I'm out.